Geaux Acadiana with Ken Romero and Dr. John. John not with us today. Mark Pope filling in for him. And I don't know, we had General Honore on there, but seemed to have lost the signal.
Oh, my gosh.
I could try dialing him again.
Call back, General.
Well, where he is, I don't think he can hear us. But
well, you go ahead and let me yak so you can do the dialing there, Ken. General Honore is going to talk about the whole forum on gun violence.
Yep.
And violence in our society. I have sometime probably after the interview, I have some comments on the gubernatorial candidates, on the prison population and crime.
Good evening, General.
How are you?
All right, great. We lost our connection there for a minute. It's Ken Romero and Mark Pope here, and you were in Lafayette yesterday, weren't you?
I was.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about this symposium on gun violence. You know, everybody seems to have a theory that we have too many guns, and other people say it's a lack of responsibility or whatever, or maybe it's impoverishment of some areas. What do you think the main thing is, and what can we do about it?
Well, I think we need to have a conversation about it in every community, and people need to have a pretty good understanding of what we're up against. That the situation that happened in Lafayette is not acceptable.
Definitely not acceptable.
And the guy ended up dead.
Yeah.
And we stand around and say, well, we're going to pray about it, and we move on. That's not an acceptable answer in the 21st century. We need to be able to have an adult conversation about a way ahead. And we've heard all the arguments. Guns don't kill people. Bad people with guns kill people. No. And we've heard the extremes. Oh, well, if only the victims in Charlotte had guns, would have been the church, they would have been able to stop it. I mean, we've heard all those stupid arguments. And I think we need to, as we say in the Army, take a knee and figure out how we want to move forward in the 21st century. To get a driver's license for a car, you got to do what?
Take a test.
Right.
Yep.
And for good reason. I mean, it's for your safety and the safety of people around you. Yet, we have a lobbying machine that even prevented discussion about licensing provisions. We fall back to a amendment that's over almost 200 years old. That we hide behind. I think we got to have a conversation about it, and we've got to figure out what changes we can make culturally. In other words, what changes we can make through education and our mindset and attitude, and how do we adjust the idea that the right to bear arms doesn't interpret itself as meaning carry a weapon anywhere, anytime, any place. I mean, it's a good reason why the Raging Cajun football stadium don't allow weapons during a game.
Well, it's like you can't bring a weapon into a bar either, but if a person wants to go in with one, they're going to do it one way or the other, as they did with the theater, and I see all these signs, gun-free zone. I know that just keeps away so many people with guns.
General Mark Pope here. You mentioned two things. You said, number one, cultural change. You said, number two, education. Where does changing our laws fit in the way you view? And I know I'm not trying to tie you down because you said we need to have the discussion. But where does changing our laws come in there? Where do you rank that on the list of important things we need to do?
Well, I think we've got to have the conversation with the people first, because it's a politically charged. Matter of fact, in Louisiana, it's a litmus test for election. Anybody running for office in Louisiana who say we need some kind of gun control, you immediately lose. So we got a problem in Louisiana because we got one of the highest gun kill rates in America.
Really? Per capita?
Yeah.
Per capita, obviously, because we're a low population state.
Yeah, but look at the numbers. the same reason we got more people in prison per capita than any other state.
Gotcha.
But do you think that's a
So
cultural?
we're not like we're leading the world because we have very unrestricted, if I use that word, gun laws in Louisiana. We have very loose gun laws compared to many other places. But I think we need to just have a conversation without getting mad and throwing kitchen pots at each other. Because what we're doing isn't working.
Yeah. I just wonder, when you get right down to it, General, there are places like Chicago, New York, Detroit that have got the toughest gun laws in the nation, and their murder rate's higher than ours.
I don't disagree with that, but we've got nothing to be proud of in our, primarily in our inner city here in Louisiana. And we need to be able to have a conversation on what's driving those killings inside our cities. Now, here's how this works. But the other thing is we've kind of been conditioned here in our own media-driven culture.
Sure.
We killed 3 people in New Orleans over the weekend, and it's on the third page of the paper.
Mm-hmm.
Some dude walked into a theater in Lafayette and killed 3 people, and it's national news.
That's because
Anderson
it's unusual.
Cooper shows up.
Yeah.
Anderson Cooper shows up. Geraldo Rivera, everybody show up. We still got people dead. They're all citizens.
Yeah. General.
Now, the only thing that makes this more exaggerated is if we think the shooter has an affiliation with a Middle East extremist group, like we did with the Boston bombing. 2 people dead, many, many injured. And we ended up with what? 7,000 police looking for 2 guys.
Yeah, absolutely. General, we're gonna have to go. We're running up against the break here, but I thank you. Maybe we can continue this conversation sometime in the near future.
I really would. And we ought to be able to engage people without us yelling at people. Well, we need to take a look at